Annie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about this movie.
Woo!
Yes, here we go.
People are gonna wonder why she's cheering.
It's all good though.
It's all good. Let's roll with it.
Let's roll with it. So this movie, I fell in love with it right away. It was fantastic. It was very um shot perfectly for being a independent film and very low budget. You can tell it was very a a lower budget independent movie. But
hmm
for the fact that you can tell it is, because it's very shot perfectly though. There's not a thing that tells you that like you can. I mean, it's well shot, being low budget, but you can tell that it's shot very perfectly, being
hmm
low budget. If that
hmm
makes sense,
Yeah.
and that's where I think a lot of people will fall in love with it. That this it's not $1 million movie, but it's something that somebody came up with, and somebody
hmm
said, "Hey, let's do this
Yeah.
and let's run with it." So, what was it like being on set?
It was fun. It was really, we shot the movie backwards. I don't know if you know that, but
What?
No, I couldn't tell. Okay,
You shot the
so
movie backwards.
yeah, so that it was like a
so
very
the
weird
ending was first.
yeah, so it was a very weird experience. Like the day I flew in from Los Angeles, we like drove to this cluster of cabins that we shot in for the the first last the last check of the movie. And it was all overnight shoots. So, it was we're all still getting acquainted with each
Mm-hmm.
other and kind of meeting everyone. A lot of them already knew each other, but I only knew like Jason and a couple other people. Um so it's like, hi, I'm Annie. Okay, now I'm like tied up. So it was a very
well,
interest.
well, that was quick.
It was a very interesting experience, but just the familial vibe of the cast and the crew really made it feel okay. Because I've been in a lot of like very random, weird situations as an actor, especially because movies you don't always shoot chronologically. So sometimes you do just have to meet someone and then start yelling at them the same day.
Mm.
Um, but it was just a blast. And I know people always say, like, oh my gosh, we were a family. Like, it was like summer camp, but it really felt like that. Like, we just could not have had more fun. And as traumatic as a lot of the movie was, and as a lot of the scenes are, we just had
Mm.
such a great bond with everybody there that it just made it feel so safe and so wonderful. And we really just felt like we were creating something special. And the energy on set was just like really, really cool to experience. It was kind of unlike anything I'd ever experienced before.
Was this your first feature film?
No, it's not my first feature. I think this was my fourth or fifth, but this
Okay.
was my first horror. This is the first time I've ever done horror.
Oh,
Ah,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Couldn't tell.
no.
Thank you.
Not at all. Yeah.
So does that mean we're gonna see more horror movies from you?
I hope so, honestly, because I actually met Jason on a different feature that I shot like 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
And when we wrapped that one, he asked me, he was like, how do you feel about demon cults? And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
Interesting. Interesting.
The way he asked you was like, "How do you feel about cheeseburgers?"
yeah,
Like,
he was
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of like, wait a minute. I don't know.
he was so casual about it that and I'd known him at that point. We shot that movie for like, I don't know, 20 something days. So I knew him by that point, but I was like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't feel one way or the other. And anyways, he just told me he was writing something and that he wants me to audition for it when that time came. And I was like, sure, you have my info. Hit me up. And then literally like a year later,
Hmm.
he was like, okay, do you want to audition? And I was like, okay. And it ended up working out. But I used to be such a scaredy cat. I was really scared of scary movies. I didn't like to watch them. I'm
Hmm.
like I used to be really easily scared. I was like really scared of ghosts, and I hated scary movies. I hated them. So I
A lot of people
almost,
were.
not at all. I almost thought to myself, I'm not sure I'm the right person for this movie because I just, I wasn't a horror fan, but I thought, let me push myself out of my boundaries and
Mm,
try something new. And now I love horror. I started to watch a bunch of horror films to kind of get in the mood before we started shooting, just so I could really see the dynamic and learn from the people I was watching. And I would always text Jason, like, I just watched this, I just watched this. And now I love them and I
nice.
want to do a lot more. So I'm super thankful to him because I always say to him, like, I'm not sure I would ever have opened myself up that way if you hadn't given me the opportunity to. So I hope more. I hope for more horror.
So you're
Yes.
pushing Jason to get more horror movies to you. I gotcha.
I know, I'm like, maybe you should write something else and make sure you
Yeah.
write me into it.
Send me the script ASAP.
Yeah. So what was it like for your like basically interview process getting onto the film?
I mean, Jason had seen me act for like I said, like 20 something days on that previous film. So he
Mm,
had kind of an idea of what I could do. Except that movie, it's going to come out in the fall. I'm very much like the villain in it. Like I'm
hmm.
mean and like kind of crazy.
What,
Um,
you? No.
I know, I know.
The person being
But
tied up at the end, right? Come on
Yeah,
now.
I
yeah.
know, truly. And so I feel like he sort of had an idea of like how I could lend myself on set and like how I could act and that was the lead in that one as well. So I think he knew like I could handle like a role of that size, but he had me submit my materials, then he had me tape, and he called me a few weeks later and told me he wanted me to do it. So
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
it was quick. It was like a quick but long process. But then we would do Zooms and talk about the script and talk about my character, and we would do Zooms as a cast for months leading up into shooting.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
we really prepared, which was nice because then when we got on set, even though it was the first time meeting a lot of these people in person, I did
Mm.
feel like I sort of had an idea about them already, which was really great. Um, so yeah, yeah.
Nice. So you said you basically had a viewing party with your friends. What did your friends think of this?
We did. It was so sweet. They really liked it. They were very surprised, and I was really nervous for them to see it just because it's pretty different than anything they'd seen me in before. Because I honestly, speaking of playing the villain, I play the villain all the time, like most of the time. Um,
Really?
really. So they had only ever seen me being like super snarky and like being like mean and stuff. So this felt really vulnerable to me because I'm screaming and I'm crying and I was so nervous for them to see it, but they really liked it. They were really surprised by it. They were really drawn in by a lot of the twists and turns and they kept being
Mm.
like, "What? No way. What?"
Yeah.
Um so it was really fun to experience that with all my friends because some of them are actors, but a lot of them are not. So it
Mm.
was cool to see both sides of everyone's reactions.
Because
Like there
I've
was
shown
a
this.
lot of twists and turns in this
Oh
movie
yeah, like
Hmm.
that was like at the end the twist at the end.
we're not saying because we want
No, no,
people
no,
to
no,
go
no.
watch it.
I don't want to spoil anything for fans and everything. I want people to go see this. I still want people to go see it, hear about it, go watch it,
Go
support
buy
these
it on
people.
Amazon. It's streaming right now.
Yeah, go
Hmm.
support these people. Do not just hear about it on whatever. I want you to go see it. But the biggest twist at the end, it was like, what?
Yeah.
Really? And then to know like every little twist that happened in the movie was like you just never seen it coming, and that was
Yeah.
like, wow,
Because I
really? This
try to
person, that
I
person?
I try to figure out horror movies as I watch them.
Hmm.
I
I
thought I
couldn't
had my
picture.
thumb on it,
No,
and then all
no,
of a sudden,
the
yeah.
twist never. No, no.
You never. That was my sister watched it today and was texting me live updates as she was watching it, and she kept being like, "Okay, this is what I think is gonna happen," and I literally said, "I guess we'll see." And then she texted me and was like, "What? I can't believe this." And I was like, "I
Couldn't
told you,
tell you.
girl."
Couldn't
That's how
tell
it
you.
was in my living room. I was legitly mad at the end because I thought I usually have an idea what's going on, but when something comes out of left field, I get overly mad because I thought I knew horror movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair.
especially
Fair.
that one. This one definitely. You think like, okay, I know this one. I know how this is gonna go. I know how this is gonna play out, and then you're like, wait a minute, this did not play out the way I expected it at all. And then you're
Mm-hmm.
sitting there going, I'm mad, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm angry, but I like my anger.
Mm-hmm.
like the first thing that drew me to this movie was is the poster. The
Mm.
poster
Yeah,
is fantastic, and I think a lot more movies should take that into account because the poster is very very cryptic, and
hmm
it draws you in to watch it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot more people should take what Jason's doing because Jason doesn't really give a lot from the poster when we get a lot of like Megan 2 that just came out.
Yeah.
It shows you the movie on the poster. People need to
yeah.
stop showing movies on the posters and whatnot. And I think Jason really hit a home run with this film because it had everything. It
I
had
think Final
demons. It
Destination
has
did the same thing. They
oh,
showed too
don't
much
even get
on
me
the
started on
poster.
Final Destination, please,
Yeah,
because same movie.
yeah. I think they just showed too much on the poster.
And he didn't show a lot on the trailer either.
Yeah.
No. Oh
Like
no. That was the one thing I did like about that is that you can watch. I mean, we talk about this a lot. You watch so many trailers on so many Hollywood movies. You know, the one that blew all our minds last year was Deadpool. I
Okay.
mean, we had what was it, 17 trailers?
17 trailers, 4 TV spots, 8 different posters.
Yeah,
Oh my
and it
gosh.
was it was just so much saturated until the day of the movie. We could pretty much almost piece it together throughout the trailer
Yeah.
and
You could just piece it together and have the whole movie.
movie. And like we talked about it, is like too many trailers give away too much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Having short trailers, like 30 seconds, like almost like shorter than a minute, and things like that. The 15 seconds, the sneak
I
peek.
think we should do teasers a lot more than actual movie
Eh,
trailers.
Yeah, do
Mm.
the little sneak peek things, and that's where I think Jason did the best thing on this. Is that it was very short, sweet to the
Mm-hmm.
point, and that's it. You
Yeah.
didn't get no big reveal, nothing. The trailer was set perfectly.
And usually
Yeah.
movies have like a cool down point where it's really, really high and then it cools down. There was no
There
cool
was
down
no
in this
cooldown
movie.
point.
It was
No,
I
boom,
know.
it was
boom,
up the
boom.
whole time.
It starts really hot and it ends really hot.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just stays. It like I don't think there was a cooldown point, but like the heat slowed a little
Yeah.
bit, but
Yeah.
it was still hot. Like it
And
was
Mm-hmm.
the heat was high throughout the whole movie, but then it's like okay, we're gonna turn the heat down just a tad, but it's still
Mm-hmm.
gonna be hot all the
and
way
then two
through,
seconds later it's
and
back on fire
it's
again.
back on fire. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Like
think that's where I think a lot of fans are gonna like this.
Yeah.
Maybe I mean maybe some fans are gonna be like, okay, this is definitely not for me because of it. It just looks. It doesn't look. I mean, a lot of fans are gonna say it's not. It's not real horror. It doesn't look horrorish to fans,
Mm-hmm.
but it is horror. It's
Mm-hmm.
just not maybe your typical horror style movie. This movie is. It's horror in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Being tied up, the dark side of horror, of the demon side of it, not this slasher, being chased around and being, you know, threatened to be killed the entire movie. That's not this style movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's
supernatural horror, basically.
this is natural.
That's what
Yeah,
I would do it.
yeah. This is natural horror. You have the dark side of it more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to get this out of the way because this is still on my mind, even though we talked about it before. Why, at the end of this movie, the man so incredibly dreamy?
Dreamy.
Like, I have no other way of putting it out there. He's.
Well, we don't want to say what he is.
I'm not gonna say what he is, but why
But
is
he's the
this?
dreamy guy.
Why
He's
is this?
a dreamy man. So without revealing too much, I will say that sometimes the darkest parts of ourselves or the temptations we face seem so desirable And I feel like that
Okay.
makes you trust them, or even if you're not trusting of them, the lust or the attraction to it is what brings you to accept them and to lean into it.
Okay.
Um, I feel
I,
like it's, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I feel like
Yeah.
it's
yeah. Yeah.
also just a different perspective because um, when you think of, I'm trying not to spoil anything. Okay,
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
like
I
when you
think
think of
both
the
of us do,
devil,
or
you
all
know,
of us do.
yeah, you picture like, like super
Yeah.
scary, super spooky. But don't people say like, oh, the devil can hide around you, or the devil can appear in mysterious forms,
Yeah.
in many forms, and trick you, and
Yeah.
it's there's a
In a
lot of things that
base. Yeah.
demons will manipulate you.
And this
Demons will
particular person does.
exactly. Or it's like,
Yeah.
ghost hunters always say, like, oh, demons will disguise themselves as little kids and get you to trust them, or demons will disguise
Yes.
themselves as someone who's trying to seduce you, so you trust them, or so you lean into it, so you don't think they're as bad as they are. I
Yep.
think that's my perspective on it.
Yeah.
Because usually in other movies that I've seen, it's never used as a dreamy guy. like
Hmm.
Well,
like it's usually somebody with long hair, like all black, which yeah, not
well,
spoiling it.
yeah, but that's what you expect.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Right.
in most TV shows that I've seen in movies, it's totally opposite than what you
I
see.
I honestly thought you're about to like try to say like it's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer because
No,
it's
no, no,
I
no,
thought you were
no,
gonna go that
no,
way.
no, 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 no. Totally opposite than what you see some of the times, though. There, this particular person looks like the star of the, you know, the dream captain of the teams here,
Yeah.
and I don't understand it because it's always seems that way, but we don't know why. Everybody's like, and then like she explained, it's that you want that particular thing,
Yeah.
you want it to be that prettiest thing,
Hmm.
Yeah.
like chasing that car that you want.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
think he was trying to hammer it home that this person can be anybody in life, basically.
Yep.
exactly. Because
So,
someone even says, I won't say who, they
Mm-hmm.
say, oh, I can't say it. I can't.
Keep
I
going.
can't say it's gonna spoil too much. But
Yeah.
somebody says the attraction you feel towards me is genuine,
Yes,
and
yes.
yeah,
that's true.
I
yeah,
yeah, and when this happens in the film, this is when my head went across the room cuz
hmm
I'm
The,
like,
the mind blown thing. It's like,
yeah.
wait a minute. And then the ending where there's a thing going on,
hmm
and it's the like the mind
hmm
is
I don't like being
playing.
so cryptic. People are going to write us and be like, "Why are you guys being so cryptic?"
Well, then watch the movie and find
Watch,
out.
yeah,
There.
watch the movie and find out. But the mind thing
Yeah,
is my because you're sitting there going, is this real? Like, is this actually happening? And
I
then
think that,
it snaps.
yeah,
It almost feels like a dream sequence, but it's happening in real time.
Yeah, and then it's like, is this really happening or no?
I think that's what's so cool about the way this script was written because, of course, like we said, it's an independent film. There was a limited budget. We could only do so much.
Yeah.
I think the way it was written that way, that makes you question, well, is this real? It keeps it more grounded to where you are confused as to, are we in a dream? Is she actually seeing this? Are we actually there? Because, when it's so dramatic and, oh, I'm in hell, or oh, there's the devil, like da da da, not saying it takes you out of it, because sometimes it is what the story needs. I feel like from where we were coming from, it was nice that we could be more grounded
Mm-hmm.
and really keep the realism of it, because it does make you question, well, what's going on here
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah, and like I said, it's like a snap of the finger because it's like, oh, that wasn't that really didn't just happen,
Right.
and then a snap of the finger happens, and then it's like, does this really? Is oh okay? Then it's just a wake up,
Yeah.
basically call, and then everybody's like, oh, all right, now this is really happening.
I, th-
Okay,
I think Brandon is mad because he didn't know what to believe.
Yeah, I was
Mm.
more.
Like,
I was more.
You were a little
At that
tricked.
point, I was tricked, and I felt that doesn't bother me. I mean, it did, but it
Yeah,
wasn't like
I can
a.
tell it did.
It wasn't like a huge thing for me. Like I wasn't like, man, I'm so mad at this movie, I'm turning it off.
Right, right.
why
I
don't
was more
why don't you tell her
disappointed.
the text message you sent me right after watching the movie?
Yeah, I would like to hear it.
Yeah,
Oh man, I don't even remember now.
he said, and I'll quote him: "What the fuck is going on here?"
Oh yeah, yeah. I
And
think that's about yeah.
he goes,
That's
"I'm
about how what
watching
I
this
said.
before bed, and I'm questioning everything."
Oh yeah, I'm questioning my entire life now.
I
Yep,
said
that's about
at
right.
four
Yep.
at 3 o'clock in the morning this morning when I was watching this, it made me question everything too. So you're
Oh
welcome.
my
Yeah.
Good night,
god.
and it's all your fault.
Good. I'm glad.
Blame Jason too.
So one of the things that caught my eye, I don't know if this was his doing, but he made you stand out to us more because of the different color contacts you had in. And
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like,
Yes.
okay, what's going on here? Because if something is going to happen, it's not really in your face in the story and all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I thought not that person was going to be it. I thought you were going to be the person.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Because I told him, I said, I thought
Yeah, you
she
thought
was going
that
to
was
be
it. Yeah, because I did too at first.
the
I was like,
ringleader.
oh, she's gonna be the yeah, she's gonna be the leader.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
That would have been a huge
I think if that would
thing.
have happened, I would have thrown my TV out the window.
Oh my god. Well, what's funny about the eyes is I wasn't wearing contacts. They did that
What?
all, yeah, they did that all in post. So,
Get out of
Outta
here.
well, let me tell you, I was supposed to wear one brown contact because you can see I have blue eyes. So I
Yeah.
was supposed to
Yeah.
wear a brown contact. And we get to the first night of shooting and they ask our special effects department, they're like, okay, where's the brown contact? And they're like, Annie has it. And I was like, no, I don't. I was like, I've never had it. Like, I just flew in from Los Angeles. Like, I don't have it. And so it's nowhere to be found. None of us know where it is. And we're like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Because we're shooting in the middle of Arkansas. Like, there's not like a Halloween store, there's not like a Hollywood makeup store we can just go to.
There's not a
So,
lot in Arkansas, period.
Yeah,
period.
there's not a
But
whole lot going on there.
especially not where we were. So we're panicking. We're like, what are we gonna do? I'm like, I don't know, like maybe we so the first shot that we ever shot was the part towards the end where it's just the side of my face.
Yeah.
So they did that so you could only see one of my eyes until we like figured out a solution. And then
So they could edit it. That
yeah,
portion.
but
Okay.
then it kind of figured out like we weren't going to be able to get a contact, and we had like 5 more days of shooting at this location. So Jason contacted someone who's going to help us in editing. His name's Chuck Murray. He's a genius, and he was like, Jason was like, "Can you edit one of her eyes for the whole entire movie?" And he was like, "I think I can." Yeah. So he had to like track my pupil in every single scene, and yeah, it's all done
Wow.
in post.
Brandon, we've been tricked again.
You
That
have.
had to
You've been
be
fooled.
hours and hours and hours of editing.
He had that man. Kudos to that man because
Yeah,
I
because
know.
I can't even.
You can't tell.
No, you couldn't tell because that's when I'm thinking it was contacts the whole time.
Well, I was worried about it because I'm not privy to special effects or editing. Like that's,
Yeah.
I know hardly nothing about it. And so I worried. I was like, oh goodness, like I hope this isn't going to look weird, or I hope you're not going to be able to tell. But throughout the editing process, Jason would send me little clips for me to see. And every time I was just wowed at how amazing it looked.
I thought it was contacts the whole time.
I
would've
thought it was
never-
contacts the entire time too.
I
I
would've
think it was a
never known.
blessing in disguise though, because I don't wear contacts in my real life. So
Mhm.
and not to spoil something, but there is some contacts I wear towards the end, and I could not see when I had those in, and they were really uncomfortable for me. So I feel like if I had to wear a contact the whole time, it would have bothered me, whereas then I didn't have to worry about it at all. So
And,
blessing in disguise.
No.
and you're probably like, why couldn't we do this like the other part of the film when I don't have to
Film.
wear anything because I
Yeah.
can't see nothing.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny that I couldn't see because I was disoriented anyway. So it didn't really matter.
Now
That
I'm
was
even
just
more mad because I got tricked again. What the hell's going on here?
yeah, that's mind
Sorry.
blowing. I can't sit and like the editing process of a movie has to be like hours and hours. I don't think I could even
Months
No.
and
yeah.
months.
Doing that alone is tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that
I don't
and now knowing somebody had to sit there
and
on a
watch a
computer,
person eye the whole
Watch my
movie.
eyes going like
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
wild.
Yeah. No.
crazy.
Just now, there's something else we got to bring up against Jason because
Okay.
I hope he's got a lot of time because we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I got about 2 hours I can talk to him
I got grievances
about
now,
this movie. Yeah,
but
definitely because this is wild.
so do you have any more questions before I ask her the big question that we wrap up every single episode with?
I'm trying to think here because I did have one more, but I'm trying to think.
Now you're mad as shit, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of like mad, but I'm not. I'm not like. It's not an angry mad. It's like exciting mad. Like this
Makes
movie
you want
was so.
makes you want more.
Yeah. Like I want another movie, and that's
Yeah.
like we always talk about that, and we always ask everybody, is there possibly a sequel? We don't know, and that's the other thing. So
Well, if anyone watching this wants to fund a sequel, maybe there can be.
so people,
And
come
she's
on.
not winking at anybody, so I don't want to hear no. Did you guys talk about it off air?
No.
No, she's
I'm
not
dead
winking.
serious.
That means get your credit cards out
And
and go watch this film, and then review it, and then send us an email.
send
Yep.
us an email and go to a GoFundMe page about let's make a sequel out of this and let's
Yeah.
make it happen.
And then give me the address so I can throw some money. Wait, because I need it ASAP.
Yeah.
So should I ask her the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
We ask every single person this question.
Okay.
If you had the opportunity to be in any movie with any budget, what movie would it be and why?
So I have an answer right away.
Oh, here we go.
I would be in The Hunger Games, because that is my favorite movie of all time. I have
Okay.
read the books. I'm not exaggerating, probably 20 times. I've seen the movies upwards of 30 times. I love them. I'm a big nerd for like dystopian things.
Okay.
And I think I kind of subconsciously let that sway me to want to be an actor because I didn't think this is what I would end up doing when I was younger. Me living in LA and being an actor, when I went to college, I thought I was going to be a nurse, and then I hated it and dropped nursing and majored in theater. So it was a very random journey for me to get here, but I was always obsessed with those, and I just remember watching them and thinking like, oh my God, these stories are so amazing. I wish I could do something like that, but it just never seemed possible. And now that I've been acting professionally and I've seen myself in movies and I know that this is something I can do, that would be what I want to do, for sure.
Is it weird seeing yourself on the big screen still?
You can ask Jason. At our premiere, that was my first time seeing myself on a movie theater screen. Because I've done a few Lifetime movies, so I've seen myself on TV before, but I'd never seen myself like on the big screen. I started crying because I just was like overwhelmed, and it was just so exciting and felt like such a dream come true. Yeah, it was crazy. It was
So,
really crazy.
Since you brought up you're a big fan of the Hunger Games, what did you think of Songbirds and Snakes?
I liked it. I know there was a lot of criticism. I loved the book, and I thought that they were pretty close to the book,
Yeah.
in my opinion, because like I don't know if you guys have read / seen like Divergent or like Maze Runner.
Oh,
They really
I had an
screwed the
experience
pooch.
I've actually went and saw Divergent.
Yeah.
I saw all three
I've seen
in the
that.
theater.
Yeah.
And I was on a date, and we got so mad at it because we felt like it was being ripped off from the Hunger Games. It felt
I've only
like
seen the first one, Diversion, in the theater.
I saw
That's
all
the-
three.
The first one I thought was pretty good. The first one I thought they did well, but then after
Yeah.
that, it just felt so distant from the books. It didn't feel the same. Same with Maze Runner. The first one I thought was great. After that, it seemed
Yeah.
so. It seemed like the books were the inspiration when they should have been the story, in my
And see,
opinion.
Maze Runner, I went and seen them all, and I loved them.
Oh,
First one's the best.
first one is
And
the best.
yeah, the first one is the best. The other ones were good. They weren't bad.
Hmm.
I liked them, but they weren't something that I had to go see in theaters.
Yeah.
Divergent, I went and seen the first one. The other ones, I was like, I'm not like, I'm not. I was an okay fan with the first one.
Yeah.
I liked it, but it wasn't something I had to go see. I went
Yeah.
and seen it because my date wanted to go see it, so I was like, okay, I'll go see it. But then I was like, I really don't want to see the other ones, and she was like, oh, okay. I wasn't like I didn't really want to go see them. They weren't something that I was impressed by.
I
From
thought they were
trailers and stuff.
fine. I just wish they were closer to the books, is more my grievance with it. I'm not trying to say they're a bad movie at all, by no means. But like they just were they strayed too far, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they're redoing them all again.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're redoing them
Yeah.
all with a new director. It just got announced like a week and a half ago, and they're using. I don't know if you've seen Alien Romulus,
Yes.
but the main character, the girl, is going to be in Divergent.
In the Diversion, yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god. T.
I heard
Well,
about
if they
that.
need some supporting roles, I'm available.
There you
There you
go.
go.
There you go.
Or
Yeah, we'll
or
push this
or when
back.
they shoot the new Hunger Games, they could be in your inbox.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I
Watch the forest through the trees. Then let me
yeah.
know.
because to be
I
honest,
love the Hunger Games. I've seen them all.
here's
They're
the thing.
so good.
Here's the thing. Since we're on this topic, I have to put my input in. It's not going to be
Yep.
liked. I love the Hunger Games.
Love.
Love Songbird and Snakes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh well,
I don't like Jennifer Lawrence.
not a lot of people did.
I don't.
I do. I love her.
I Jennifer Lawrence just feels to me like she just plays herself in every single role. Because I've seen all
Okay.
of her films. She
Mhm.
doesn't really bring.
She doesn't bring that
anything new.
chemistry, a different chemistry to it, like a different aspect. Yeah.
Like, if I could cast you in the Hunger Games tomorrow, I would. Because I don't like Jennifer Lawrence.
Thanks.
Like, that's just me. We don't watch anything Jennifer Lawrence in this house anymore because of how much I dislike
See, I do.
her.
That's different to me.
Well,
But you
can
know
make
what?
it-
Art is subjective, and it's okay to disagree.
There you go. See, there you go.
we do that a lot here.
Yeah, like when we started this podcast and you didn't like independent films.
I don't want to say
And
I
here you
didn't
are.
dislike. I didn't want to say I disliked them. I just wasn't like a
Like an
huge
avid
fan.
watcher.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wasn't like a huge fan of them.
But
Like I
ready?
would see them, but I wasn't like I gotta see this independent movie.
But here's
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing that I tell everybody. I get a lot of emails about people not knowing independent films exist,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
they only know Hollywood stuff. And I'm going to tell Brandon what I told X amount of people. Nightmare on Elm Street was an independent film.
Independent, yeah. I knew that, but I
Halloween,
never.
Halloween was an independent film too. Miramax would not exist without Halloween.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm just saying.
and Terrifier.
Terrifier, yeah.
Love
Different now.
Terrifier.
It's different now, but I mean, everybody's saying that's mainstream, and I'm like, nope, still
I think-
independent.
I think
But-
Terrifier opened the door for all these independent films to thrive now.
I think that's true. I think a
Like-
lot of people start independent, and it's a miracle for any movie to get made and for someone to be able to share. So I think, yeah, independent film needs a lot of support.
Yep.
And that's what we're trying to do, and we're just trying to get people's films some love because I think that's their stuff is better than the Hollywood stuff we have now.
Yep.
And that's why we're here.
Woo!
Anything else, Brandon, before we wrap this up?
Nope. Just appreciate you being here. And where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, my Instagram is Annie_Sullivan15. I'm there. I post a lot of stuff on there. I post about things I'm doing, things I have coming out. So you should follow me to see whatever's next.
All right.
Go see Forest Through the Trees. Available
Please go see it.
everything on streaming. When this episode drops, I will provide a link for people to buy it.
Buy
Yay!
it, rent it,
Thank you
whatever.
again for joining us.
Yep.
Thank you
Thank
for having me, and thank you for supporting our film. It really means a lot.
Of course.
course.